Good evening once again. It's Tuesday, 6:30, and it's time for We Talk once again. But before we begin, I must say a belated Mother's Day greetings to all the moms and expecting moms, those of you who celebrated Mother's Day over the weekend, and also to all the dads, because I know that some of you holding down both roles, father and mother. So good evening to all of you, and of course those of you who are maybe even the grandparents and the guardians who are also playing your significant part. Thank you very much for trying to make a great contribution towards the life of the children of tomorrow. So of course it's time for We Talk on TV4, and of course this program is going to be a very interesting one. And before we get to our guests for this evening, I'd like to let you know how you can reach us. Of course we are streaming at www.facebook.com/OurTV4, also at gisllimited.tt/TV-4. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, my friends, at TV4 #LeWeTalk. A very interesting one, as I said a little while ago, and a colorful cast we have for us this evening. We're talking extempo, and we have the exponents of the art. And I think it's only fitting, since we're talking extempo, that we should do a little extempo. Now, since these guys are champions of the art, I felt that I just really couldn't leave them alone to do it, because that they can do it. So I'm going to challenge myself to maybe start it off with the extempo, trying to introduce our guests for this evening, and then they will take it from there. Now, I'm hoping that I can do it. I'm not sure. So I'm putting myself on the spot here right now, and the only thing I'm hoping is that I don't bust. So I'm going to ask them to give me a little Santi Maniti as we start off. So, ba-da-ba-dam, ba-dam, ba-dam. Oh boy. Look trouble now. Boy. You're sitting by the TV with your little popo. The program today is about extempo. The fella sitting here right in front of me, that man we calling him Myron B. The man next to he, what is his name? Oh no. This man I go call this fella Lingo. And I find that the line getting thicker and thicker. Lady Africa. Myron.
Well, my friends, I really know what is going on. It seems as though Mark Anthony want to mash your corn. He my friends, when he start to spit, he realize who he really dealing with. I'm telling you right now, we have to be quick. You better careful when you're using them words like tick. Because I'm telling you, please listen to me. Don't say tick, say something like heavy.
Well, I'm telling you, Mark Anthony, I have to agree with Myron B, because you say the crowd get thicker, and you welcome Lady Africa. But I'm telling you, listen carefully. I'm sure that now my eyes don't fail me. Right now I don't want to test your fate, but like you don't realize Lady Africa losing weight.
Santi Manite.
Ladies and gents, a pleasant good night. I want to start saying that is not right. One call me thick, one call me heavy, just so the men ganging up on me. But they doing that just because, I am a stalwart in extempo. And though I'm lost a bit of weight in extempo, I'll always be big and great.
Oh boy, I'm breathing a sigh of relief a little bit.
You gotta come back.
Oh boy, no. Guys, welcome to the program, We Talk. It's great seeing you, Myron, Lingo, Lady Africa. I know that you have busy schedules, and we so appreciate that you could be here with us this evening. And we want to talk about the art itself, and also defining what is extempo really, because some of us have different definitions of what it really is.
Well, extempo is really the art of composing on the spot or instantaneously something that has a perfect meter and rhyme, and is usually to a predetermined melody. In Trinidad and Tobago, the most popular melody used is the Santi Manatee melody, but we can choose between different melodies, especially for competition purposes. But basically, example, you take a tune and put your own words to it and let it make sense.
So once you're freestyling, is that really an extempo style?
When we talk extempo, we have, of course, the traditional form, which is what we just did, right? But extempo, as you correctly said, it is a free form, a freestyle, as the youths would say, right? A form of that. But to, when we say extempo, it is generally understood to be done to a calypso rhythm, right? Traditionally, that is the root of calypso, right? The calypso was born out of extempo, right? The slaves used to extempo on the slave masters and the conditions of the day, right? And everybody, I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, with the bit of French heritage, right? That is where we get the term sans humanité, which means loosely without mercy, right? So in extempo, I mean, the lyrics and the freestyle is usually done without mercy.
So it's blow sharing.
Yeah, yes.
And when you're talking about blow sharing, of course, Lingo, he knows how to share licks.
Yeah.
See, like what I did to Myron in the finals. Yeah.
That could be settled today again.
What I have done to Lingo on previous occasions.
That's like Floyd Mayweather boasting about his victory. You know, the boxing match the other night?
Yeah.
He threw about 4 punches and he win a match.
We don't know. Just in case you guys want to get it on.
The difference is your shoulder was hurting you.
What about some of the other guys who may have paved the way for you all right now? You know, who you all would determine as the legends then?
Well, I have always said, I always, for me, extempo, once I see relator and superior, I don't care to even hear Lingo. But I used to admire Black Sage and deceased Big B and Gypsy, of course, Lady Africa, who I will not be so unkind to her to say she encouraged me. She abused me into extempo. Okay? That's how she did it. So I'm speaking in unparliamentary terms here. She abused me into getting into extempo on St. Vincent Street. I'll never forget that. She stopped and said, "You set me up. You never come in the show." And people in the back blowing horn at she don't concern. I should have been there. So, and I was like, my baptism of fire into the arena. It was no turning back from there.
Did you feel in any way that you had to do a little bit more as a visually impaired man coming into this arena?
Yes. I always felt it's like Lady Africa as a woman doing extempo. She had to make the extra effort. I felt from day one I had to do that. Fortunately, I was good at what I did, so the crowd accepted me a lot easier than I thought they would have.
I think Lingo is being very modest. I mean, he is, maybe it's because he's not sighted, but his powers of retention and his command of facts is outstanding. I think it surpasses any of us that practice extempo. He is excellent at that. And I think that was one of the things, you know, that assisted him, because he knows the facts and he has a very quick wit. No, he does. I mean, as an artist, I can recognize potential. I can recognize people who, if they stick to it, will be good in the extempo art form. And I think I'm proud to say that I don't want to say I'm responsible, but I had a hand in getting both Lingo and Myron B into the fray.
And to an extent, second star.
To a large extent, yes.
But you know, what is also interesting is that you three seem to have a very good synergy amongst you, a friendship even, so to say. On competition night, when you have to go up against each other, how does one or the three of you manage to go into fierce battle and still be mindful that, you know, at the end of this, we are still friends?
When you take the mic away from us, they will become friends again.
let me add my 2 cents to that, right? I think the what really happens is extempo, competition extempo. It's not about Lady Africa versus Myron or Lingo versus Africa. It's about you and whatever you pull in the box. So if any tension, right, the most amount of tension is the jitters you will get. Okay, I wonder what topic are going on pull, right? That I think is what does create the bubbles, the butterflies, right? Before you going on stage, even when they're there, you pull it, you get a topic, and you start to go through a form, then you start to feel a little more relaxed, right? Worst yet if you make it to the next round because you have to face the box again, right? I think that is the most, for me, right? And I mean, I could talk for a couple of other guys as well. The most strenuous or nerve-wracking part of the extempo experience, competition-wise.
But Myron, you have always carried a lot of wit with you in terms of your songs even. They always know that Myron has a sense of humor. Do you think that assisted you in any way to getting involved in the extempo?
Well, I used to extempo. I've been doing the freestyle thing. I started doing the freestyle thing as a youth. As Lady Africa would say, she was responsible when we had Maljo Kaiso back in 2004, something like that.
2002, I think.
Somewhere
there.
Actually, if you need to ask,
I wasn't in Maljo.
They had
I was with the arch rivals.
They had a segment where they used to extempo, and during that time it was Lady Africa and Abibile, and night after night they going at it. Right? We weren't allowed. We weren't, of that class, caliber. Right? So we used to sit backstage and have our extempo battles while that going on to the melody playing and all of that. And for me, the wit and that didn't really help, because when the challenge of the extempo competition, that is, right, and putting my skills against the best of the best. The first night I went down to the audition, right, I was in a taxi, and they said, extempo preliminaries on tonight at that, I can't remember the place on Henry Street. Cave Ma Pub. And I was just approaching Cave Ma Pub, I jumped out the taxi, and I ran inside. I write down my name, and that was it. I had no idea of the dynamics of the extempo competition. And humor, that wouldn't help you. Because when you pull a topic, right, and they want people expect information, right, they expect commentary, right? I mean, having the little humorous element would help, right? But information and, as Lady Africa said, retention, right, that plays a much more important role, and of course your knowledge base as well, right? So I mean, for me, the humor helps, and in my case, it is a bit of a blessing and a burden, because people expect me to be funny, and when they come and they get a topic, child abuse.
Can't joke about that. Can't joke about that.
Nothing funny about it.
Cannot be funny.
Yeah.
But Lingo, how do you prepare? I mean, okay, going into competition, do they give you hints in terms of these some of the topics we may be
No, you don't know nothing. You don't know
nothing at all.
The only time you know what coming is when you pull.
That's it. At that point in time.
We don't know nothing because, like, for example, this year when the Prime Minister had a cabinet reshuffle 10 minutes before the show started, and everybody was glued to the phone, listening to the reshuffle, because the possibility exists that something about that could have come on the night. We didn't know. And, well, fortunately, I knew that Gary Griffith had lost his position, so it came in my song.
So you really have to have that sense of general knowledge then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it fair to more or less say that you can set yourself apart from the rest of the field by just more or less being in touch with everything that is going on right now in the world, the international news, what's going on social media, things that might be trending? Has it worked to your advantage in any way by maybe exposing yourself to all of that?
Well, it has worked for me in that prior to the advent of social media, I would find myself reading the newspapers and listening to the news, especially like the opinions, so you would get an idea of, like you see, what is trending and what is popular sentiment. So if you get a topic, you know, you would be more popular with the crowd if you express the popular sentiment. Now with Facebook and, you know, social media, it's a lot easier. I don't have to do as much reading because that could have, you know, could be tedious. And then in a country as dynamic as ours, you find that, especially coming close to competition, when you know that things can happen on the day, and it comes as a topic, as I have experienced on more than one occasion. Don't laugh. I have experienced that on more than one occasion. And the thing is, I wish that the organizers would realize that on the day of competition, especially as a woman, I'm dealing with clothes and makeup and toes and nails. So more often than not, I am unaware of what happens in Trinidad and Tobago and the world on competition day. And I have on more than one occasion gotten topics, you know, relating to immediate things.
I guess your luck.
Yes.
Folks, we're going to find out so much more about these fine folks here on set with us. This is We Talk on TV4, and before we go to a break, I'd like to remind you of those numbers where you can connect with us. Our numbers are 675-8747 and 675-8749. We will give you the opportunity to call us when we come back. Stay with us. This is We Talk on TV4.
Brian London, let me tell you, I frightened to death. I realize it has something I must regret. I'm telling you people right here in Grandstand, try and listen to me and please understand. Now you're watching on the stage and you're real impressed. Some of these fellas come up here and they're damn well dressed. But let me tell you something that I really resent. Francois, you're looking so good, but go and fix your scent.
Well, as I said, no mercy at all. Let me talk. And it continues. We're talking ex-tempo this evening, and you just saw Myron B. Before we went to the break, you saw Lady Africa and, of course, Lingo. And we will also open the lines and give you an opportunity. And if you want our guests to answer you in song, well, you could maybe give them a topic. Don't give me no topic. Give them a topic. You can give them a topic, and they will answer you in song when we open the lines. Remember the numbers. You can call us once again. Remember those numbers, folks. 675-8747 and 675-8749. How is the industry? What is the state of the industry right now, Myron? How is it looking? Is it in good shape right now, the extempo industry?
Yeah, man. I mean, in my opinion, we had an increase in the prize monies, right? So on that end, I mean, Lingo was the first beneficiary of the increase, right?
Will continue to be so for a while.
And I mean, I could speak from the perspective of the newest entrant to this aspect of the culture, right? We have a lot of youth coming into the extempo now, and over the years, well, I myself was one coming in and having to face Lady Africa, and Lingo was fairly new at the time, but seasoned, right? Still. So I think from my perspective, the extempo fraternity itself has grown a lot, right? And the quality of work you see coming in, I mean, from the lower end, right, you start seeing an increase in the quality of exponents from the preliminary stage, and now you get to see them coming into the finals now, and even beating out some of the more seasoned professionals.
But what about, Lingo has always been known to be very outspoken.
Yeah.
And if you're saying it's in good shape as it is right now, Lingo taking and continuing from there, what else can be done to even make it better if it's in a good shape right now?
I clearly, definitely would like to see a junior extempo competition, right? Because we have junior monarch, junior soca monarch, junior chutney, everything else in juniors, but extempo, right? And once you start there, and you could get people like Myron and Lady Africa and company to go to the schools and teach the children, I think we will improve a lot. We will reach much further.
What about in terms of keeping our lyrics clean in the art form?
Well, we are guided by rules in the competition, so if you realize there are certain things we don't say at all, not because we can't, we don't want to, we can't.
Because we would be
Disqualified.
disqualified.
Yeah.
So you could tell a person your head big, your nose big, you're ugly. But there are certain
Even
things
worse than that.
Worse
But
than
No, you can say things and you can say things that are worse than that, but you have to couch it in such a way that if a young person is listening, they would not, unless they are more advanced in their understanding, they would not really pick up on the meaning. Because I think one of the masters of couching was the late Big B.
Yes.
He was phenomenal when it came to couching things. You know, and I just wanted to elaborate on something that Myron was saying. I remember when I first entered the extempo competition, I think this was my 26th season. The first prize was $5,000. And I've seen it steadily increase over the years to what it is now, which is $250,000. And the people, the extempo fraternity had started out very, very large, even larger than it is now with the entrance. And then it dwindled almost to a point where I personally was wondering if extempo was dying, because it was the same folks over and over again. And then about 2 years ago, there was just this influx of new blood. Like all of these young people realized, here's what, this is something that I can do, this is something that I could be good at, and they come to the competition and they try. And some of them have made inroads, they've made it to the finals. I know, I remember Brian London, the first year that he came, he was disappointed because he didn't make the final. He stayed away for a year, and I think, and he came back and kept at it. He ended up winning the Monarch. Francois Otley is another person who came for the first time and didn't make it, even though I personally felt that he should have made it that year.
Yes.
And he also stayed away for a while and came back. Because the thing about it, very few people would make it to a final on their first attempt. I think I was fortunate in that event. Lingo, I'm not too sure about my
second time for me.
Right. So I made it on my first attempt. Lingo made it on his first attempt. But very few people make it to a final on their first attempt. But it's something you need to keep at. And you need to objectively look at yourself and look at your performance and even ask people who are seasoned, what are my weaknesses? Because this young man, I think as Lingo mentioned, second star. The first year he entered the preliminary, he did not make it to the final. And he planned to quit. And I told his mother, no. I said, he's very good. He has a lot of potential. But the topic was a topic that was for somebody with a lot more years on the earth. You had to be around long to be able to deal with that topic. So even though he tried, it was just outside of his knowledge base. It was barely in my knowledge base. You know, so...
You were wrong long.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this blind guy. So, you know, you need to either look at yourself objectively or get somebody who will tell you, this is where you went wrong. This is what you need to do to improve your performance. Either you improve your diction, you know, and different things like that. And I mean, once they do that, because, I mean, a lot of us who have been in it a long time, we don't want to see the art form die out. So we would, you know, encourage younger people to come in. And I mean, the challenge is on us because we need to make sure that we keep sharp, otherwise they are going to beat us.
So how does one keep sharp? And before we allow you to, I want Lingo to answer this one. I want to remind you of the phone lines. The numbers are 675-8747 and it's 675-8749. How does one keep sharp, Lingo?
Well, fortunately today we have like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all these things. The newspapers are also available online and all of that. So like people like me, I would have invested in the necessary technology to assist me, because up until 2005, I had never read a newspaper in my life for myself. And when I was able to go online and read the 3 dailies from Trinidad and Tobago, that was like, wow, you know. So you stay in touch with all the different mediums of communication. But I also want to urge artists, upcoming artists, do like Second Star and set yourself minor goals. I remember him telling me one night at prelims, my only aim right now is to reach the 2nd round, just to say that I rub shoulders with the big guns. And he was in the Savannah that same year. I say, see, you aim for the 2nd round and look where you reach. You know, so you have no reason not to come back next year. You know, so you don't expect that you'll be an instant success when you walk on a stage.
But Lingo, I saw you brought your guitar. And you have your guitar hiding somewhere.
The producer left it in the back.
You have your guitar hiding somewhere, because I know that you wanted to play a guitar a little bit for us and sing a couple lines. But I think we're going to share some topics a little bit now. So
the callers calling?
Well,
I ain't see no lights.
We're going to go. You ain't seen we're going to go with Myron. And Myron, we start with Larry Talk. That's your topic there.
Well, people, this ain't no Skylark. We right here by Channel 4, so let we talk. I tell you, with nice things, nice interviews. Mark Anthony, with some great reviews. Now listen to me, try and understand. I'm here with 2 other ex-tempo Calypsonians, so on Let We Talk, I telling you, it's the best for sure. The best show on the Channel 4. So what you see here watching me, you're going again? Say.
Lingo.
I tell, listen carefully. As we sing live here on TV, I tell you, don't feel like talking stupidness, because unless we talking out, we business. I know, I have to think real quick. I don't know what else to say on this topic, but I say it now, I feeling to raw, because it's Let We Talk on Channel 4.
Well, Mark Anthony looking at me, what can I say about the show on TV? Lingo and Myron, they did the best. I say I will have to do the rest. Let me talk exposing our culture. They had rap so and now extempo here. So I want to tell everybody, Channel 4, Let Me Talk, watch it on TV.
Yes. Let's go to a phone call. Hello, you're on the air. Welcome to Let Me Talk.
Yeah.
Good evening, welcome.
Lingo?
Yes, we're hearing you.
I'd like to speak to Lingo, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I would like Lingo to compose a song on Growly.
A song on?
Growly.
Growly.
Rowley?
Yeah, Keith Rowley now.
You want Lingo to sing a song about Keith Rowley?
Yes, sir.
That's your topic?
Just so.
Just like that?
Well,
All right.
partner, listen carefully. Why it is you want me sing on Rowley? I sure you sitting down at home like you had nothing else to do but pick up your phone. Dr. Rowley, as all you should know, he come there from in Tobago. And if I should sing a song about Keith Rowley, they might suspend me from the TV.
Oh, boy. Remember the numbers, my friends, 675-8747, 675-8749. That is truly, I think it's more than a skill. I think it's more like a gift to be able to compose on the spot like that. And, of course, once again, folks, the lines are open. You can call us. Topic again. We're singing...
Before you give us a topic.
Oh, you have some? Well,
No, before you give us a topic, I wanted to say, you know, you just pulled the topic, let we talk, because that is what's going on. And sometimes people don't realize that there are topics that are finite. There is only that much you can say about the topic unless you know. So, I mean, had we had the information, we could have spoken about how long Larry Talk was on, who were the producers, etc., etc. But without that information, basically we are limited to what's happening here in this hour, the first time, you know, that I personally have become aware of it.
Yeah, well, if I didn't know I was on the program, but I never know they had a show called Let We Talk.
Well, look at that. Well,
I just see Mandela by accident.
I'm sure everybody's going to know a whole lot more. We have a caller from QREP. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Very good program tonight, Mark.
Thank you.
You kill it at the start.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Tonight, Miss Lady Africa, Lingo,
Good night.
and the other gentlemen. Good night, good night. What I want to know is, for younger kids growing up, right, who want to learn extempo, do they have a school that they teach them, or what?
Well, the TUCO youth, the youth arm of TUCO.
They have a youth arm?
Yeah, man.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't see it.
Every year, but
see
you have assisted.
You didn't see it.
Every year during the August holidays, or they organize workshops in the east, in Port of Spain, and in the south, to expose the children to all the different aspects of calypso. And extempo is done as well at that. It's like a week-long workshop. In addition to that, it is very easy, well, depending on the time, because most of us are otherwise employed, to arrange with one of the artists to come to your school and, you know, give a lecture, give a workshop, give a demonstration, because I have done it several occasions at Bishop's, at Trinity, at the International School, at primary schools, a lot. And it's always a joy because it's there that you see the potential. I remember doing a workshop with this young man, Jeremy Rodriguez, who I think he was Junior Soca Monarch and Junior Calypso Monarch, something like that. I did the workshop in South with him. And at the end of the workshop, we put the children together for them to do their battle. And he got up there and told this girl that her head was like a mop. Henna, I just crack up. You know, the other thing, you know, we introduced them to the history of extempo, the different styles of extempo, how you can use extempo, the different tools to improve your extempo, because there is this thing called the rhyming dictionary, where you just learn rhymes, you know, just words that rhyme with each other. Then there's the thesaurus, which also exposes you to words. And I remember asking, you know, can anyone tell me what is a thesaurus? And he says, a dinosaur.
And you know, when you mentioned about the rhyming, I remember the first time I met Bunji, back in the days when he was on the green, and he was in the vocal booth and he was going through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I asked him, I said, what is that about? I don't understand. And he said, well, that is how he gets his rhymes, by running through the alphabet just like that.
But
and really quick.
Said so.
That was something else that's phenomenal.
Jen told us that. He said, he's singing about the glass. Right? And you're coming down the alphabet now. The glass rhymes with fast, but doesn't make sense.
How does one, I mean, the ability to be able to retain, deliver, and then, of course, conquer at the very end. I mean, it's truly phenomenal what you guys do.
Well, I think one part that I think Lady Africa failed to touch on is technique, right? That plays a very integral role in becoming a good exponent of extempo. What happened is, if you listen to each and every one of us here, plus the other exponents, we might be singing on the same Sans Humanity melody, but with a different rhythm and with a different beat, right? One of the things that attracted me to the extempo was when I sat down and I listened to Gypsy sing. Now when Gypsy singing, he does do it thing well quick, it very smooth and somehow with the song well slick, and when he do that on a partner, you must know that is the way that the Gypsy does extempo. And then I heard Lady Africa singing too. She was very dainty and picked her words very good, true, right? And then you get to realize that each individual have a technique to build their rhymes, right? What Abebele is a very unorthodox type of extempo performer, right? Now he as a performer, he performs extempo to different beats. I mean, outside of the realm of calypso, so he would take a pop song and extempo, and take another type of music, a reggae and extempo. Right, so he has a different groove and different feel to most. So what one of the things that worked for me is trying to find the groove that best fit my personality and ability and the way I think, because the rhyming aspect of the thing comes with how could you find. You usually find the last part of the rhyme mentally. So if you're going down the road, the first thing you will see is cup. Where's the word to put in front of cup? So you'll end up rhyming cup, right? That's usually what plays out in the mind. And singing with your, finding your groove, right? To go down the road and get your rhymes connecting, right? I mean, that is part of the technical aspect of the extempo art that each individual, I mean, that is on the top tier of the art, has honed and made their own.
Who would you say within or throughout your extempo career might have been your most formidable opponent so far?
Black Sage.
Sage all the time. Sage?
Well, for me, I think all yes, because I met Gypsy, I met Black Sage, I met Lady Africa, I met Lingo, right? And
we all beat him, eh?
Up there, don't talk that.
No, he beat me once.
Oh, okay.
Let's try that.
Once.
I think you got licks too.
I know about that. Twice we ever came up and...
Twice?
Yeah.
Twice. Right.
I came third and I came first.
All right, well, you didn't beat me, I win.
Well,
right?
That's as good as beating you.
Right, I mean, yeah, you have to give Jack his jacket, and each person that performing up there really refine their craft and refine the way they do their thing. So in my opinion, I don't think it have anybody better than anybody, right? It's just who come out top at the moment on the night. Yeah.
I personally think that my most formidable opponent is also who I would consider my mentor, and that would be Gypsy. I remember the very first time I took part in the extempo preliminaries. I went to the preliminaries and I'm like, if I pull anything below 10, I am not singing because I don't know what to do. Fortunately, I pulled 18, so by the time they reached 10, 11, I had a fair idea of what I was supposed to do when I got up on that stage. And I got up there and I pulled Superstar. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, all I am thinking about is the sneaker store on Queen Street. Yes, folks, I am that old. I was thinking about the sneaker store on Queen Street. And so you think you that young? You that old too?
Well, I'm not as old as you think.
Anyway, we wouldn't have that argument. And, you know, I said, I am the Lady African. I know that I am a superstar. I don't remember anything else I said after that. But I do remember that when I was walking down, Gypsy stood up and he shook my hand. And I told myself then and there that I was good. You understand? That because I knew he had won the crown the year before. So I felt okay. For him to get up and shake my hand, I had to be good. You. And the other thing is that when you're performing with an opponent, the better your opponent is, it raises your performance. So it's very difficult. I mean, not to cast aspersions on anybody, but it's very difficult if you are in competition with somebody who is not as skilled. Because sometimes, you know, you're expecting certain things out of them and you don't get it. Or sometimes they say something that is so bizarre that it totally throws you off.
Yes.
Or maybe that could also be a strategy that the person might be using against you.
It's not a strategy. It's not a strategy.
It just happened. It's not a strategy. But I can tell you, when the first time I actually pulled a topic to sing on, and I was scared as hell. And there was 3 stalwarts, as far as I am concerned. There was at Any Howard's sports club competition. It was Lady Africa, Abebele, and Black Sage. And none of them spoke to me because they didn't have a clue who this blind boy was. As soon as I came up the stage, it's like I suddenly obtained celebrity status. All 3 of them ran and hugged me up and shook my hand, and it's like, you're good. You're good. And it's like, what? Okay.
Lingo, of course, we also have to thank Lingo for his contribution. When we come back, we're going to talk about, all the support that Lingo has been getting, from the members of the Blind Welfare Association. Once again, folks, we're going to go to another break, and we want to remind you of those numbers. We can reach us and, maybe question or comment, or if you want to hear a particular topic in song, you can ask our panel this evening. The numbers are 675-8747 and 675-8749. We will be back with more on Let We Talk.
I stand up out there and I want a ball because of this jokey free for all. Now people out there, I want you to know, I know all your love true extempo, but them fellas here, they making me shame. All of them giving extempo a bad name.
These people making me feel to scream. All your songing like extempo beat team. Because I had to claim tonight is everybody here call my name. This fella makes so much bacchanal. How I build a house with government material. He is so ungrateful, I must admit, because it's me and his sister living in it.
Well, no mercy.
Without mercy.
No, without mercy. Without mercy. That was a big one. That was a big line there.
So what some people don't understand is that when you are on that stage, it's a battle. You would say anything to win, but 99.9% of the time, when you get off that stage, it's forgotten. Of course, there have been occasions when persons have overstepped the bounds of what is decent to mention, on a stage and in a competition, and that, lends itself to a little bit of, discomfort. But generally, we are all good friends. It's a very small fraternity. We're hoping that it will get a lot larger, but for now it's a small fraternity, so we look out for each other. That's
fantastic. And talking about looking out for each other, Lingo, you have the support of the Blind Welfare Association behind you, so you started off with a big fan base already.
No. You have it wrong.
You have it wrong.
You have it wrong. I have friends at the Blind Welfare Association who supported me The Blind Welfare Association did not necessarily give me the support that I needed. Up to now, I have won the title 4 times, and I've never seen in the papers nowhere we wish to congratulate Lingo, or we wish him all the best in getting to reaching the finals this year. I've seen it from other institutions. I've never seen that from the Blind Welfare Association. Individuals who work there or who are connected there would have called me, given me the encouragement, even discouragement as well, but
Discouragement.
yeah, but the association of itself, I have not gotten the kind of support that I think that I've seen other people gotten over the years.
Why would this be? I would have thought that Lingo might have been, the flagship person, leading the way, and of course maybe even inspiring others to join in.
Well, it's beginning to happen now. There was another visually impaired person who entered this year.
And he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Yeah. But where the association is concerned, the only time you hear about Lingo is with Bacchanal. Lock down the place, pull down the boss extra, they call police and all that. You go hear Lingo. The association has not seen it fit to say, look, this is he is the in thing now where blind people are concerned. Let us use him or utilize him as our PR person, right? Instead, the president will send me text messages at 11:45 in the night telling me stop lying and save my soul and all kind of nonsense.
We have a caller from Cuba, Santi Mani. We have a caller from Cuba. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good night. Great, fantastic show.
Thank you very much.
Lingo, I'm hearing you saying that you have never seen it on papers and you have never seen it. What you're confusing me, man. I think you should sing something on that for me. Never see it. Nothing on thing about you winning. You never seen the welfare advertised that you won. And this is Singing Sonia. Everybody's doing a great job. I'm enjoying your show.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
Hello. So I hear you saying you never see, and you never see. You could see that.
Well, I telling you, just leave me alone. Why you call and asking me that question on the phone? What I telling you is terrible, but believe me, my source, it is credible. I know that I get in real horrors because I say I never see them thing in the papers. Like you doubting the Lingo or what? Like you feel I am a blind man or what?
Thank you very much, Sonia. Folks, as we come to a close, it's been a wonderful journey, learning so much about you, and of course learning so much more about the competition itself. In your opinion, is the prize, the money that has been allocated as the prize money, is it sufficient? Is it fair in your opinions?
No. Well, I mean, Africa is the best person.
What would you suggest if you were?
Speak on that regard. I mean, the effort is there, right? As Lady Africa said, we have seen a steady incline or increase in the prize monies, right? I mean, you have to sing, the finalist will have to sing 3 songs on the night.
And 2 from the prelims.
Yeah, 2 from the prelims, right? Well, basically make up on the spot 3 songs, right?
So to get to the finals, you make up 5 songs.
5 songs.
Yes, well, 5 songs, yes. Once you make it up to the final round. And, I mean, whatever the justification might be in terms of prize monies or prize structure or whatever.
If you were to just off the cuff to say, what would you suggest as a suitable figure?
No, well, I would put it up with the best, right? I would say at least 1 million. At least 1 million, right?
I agree.
Because what Extempo is a lot more than just a competition. They come and hear them box and laugh, right? It is a part of the preservation of our culture and an aspect of our culture that is a lot different to the traditional Calypso fraternity, right? As I once heard a prominent Calypsonian say, Extempo is the creme de la creme. This is where you dress up and you come out to perform, right? If we were talking cricket, this is Test cricket, right? This is the premier event, right? And for what it is, you know what I mean, for what it's worth to the cultural landscape of Trinidad and Tobago and the evolution of everything else that came after, right? Some would say that it deserves at least, right, the respect of equal prize.
I think one of the problems with the extempo and the slow increase in the prize money are the actual fans themselves, because they would increase the prize money to match the crowd support that they get. And a lot of times, even though people love extempo and people genuinely love extempo, it tends to be among the older crowd. So maybe if it is that we get more young people involved or young people to come out, because what we have seen is that with the young people coming to the preliminaries, they brought their friends along with them. And we hope that this will continue, so we would encourage the younger crowd and then maybe fill the grandstand. And then they will say, well, okay, this show is a money maker. And since it's a money maker and we can get a lot of advertising money off of it, then, you know, it would be fair to increase the prize money some more. The other thing is that even though as artists we are...
I know that we have so much more to talk about on this topic, but we're out of time.
Oh my.
And of course, maybe we have to look forward to our part 2 on this topic on extempo. Guys, it's been a wonderful journey.
Oh, definitely.
It's time to go, and we learned so much about extempo. And I'm going to hand it to you, Myron B, because right now it's time to say bye-bye from we.
Well, I'm telling you, I had so much fun chatting with you to everyone. And I really hope I see you say, without no slack, one day we will all come back. Lingo.
I just want you to know, I really enjoy being on the show. Sitting down here, believe it or not, I sit down here between two stalwart.
Well, it's your thing, baby, Africa.
No, I was enjoying Lingo's
And you're enjoying what he's saying.
Thank you very much for joining us at Let Me Talk.
Adios.
See you next week. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Taking this price.